Well, welcome to A Drink with James, episode 9. As you can tell, they let me out of the conference room. We are here at the Tommy Hilfiger men's show. During Men's Fashion Week, Tommy was nice enough to put me into one of their beautiful suits. So maybe, Tim, you can get one of those like wardrobe provided by Tommy Hilfiger thing down here. Really my goal in this whole thing is to just get someone to sponsor my wardrobe because I'm having to wear a new suit every single week, which is incredibly expensive. And so any fashion brands out there, Tommy, this is great. Maybe we could talk, somebody else. Anyway, we're excited to be here with Tommy. And first things first, I need another drink. 1 second. Better. We're here at a fashion show. So a good question is, how the hell do you get into fashion shows? So there's a few different ways. First, these things, the brands for shows have different PR agencies that run their shows. It's a lot of the big PR agencies in the city, HL Group, KCD, LaForce & Stevens. So it's good to build relationships with those agencies, figure out who they represent, because if you can build a relationship at a PR consulting or an HL Group or a KCD, you have a chance of getting into not just one show, but maybe 15 or 20 shows if they like you. So that's that. 2 is understanding kind of where you sit in the scope of the influencer world and what shows that maybe you could get into. If you're just starting out and you have 30,000 followers, you're not going to get into a Marc Jacobs show. Okay, like editors don't get into those shows. So you have to kind of understand that. And you have to start with smaller brands, support them, post about them. The next season when you come to Fashion Week, send that coverage to the PR agencies and also to the brands to request. Make sure you do it 6 to 8 weeks in advance of the show, that you're sending notes and you send a formal request to those brands. You can get the fashion calendar. I think it's about $200 each season. And the fashion calendar will tell you, Tim will put a link down here, but it'll tell you exactly every show, what the schedule is and which PR company handles it and what the email address is to request access to the show. So make sure you get the fashion calendar. Make sure when you send emails to these people, you keep it brief, send past coverage, and kind of understand where in this, what shows would be realistic for you this season, and just keep building and building and building. And you might be sitting at Chanel in a couple of years. There's a lot of influencers now who, annoyingly, were born in like 1993, I was in 3rd grade myself. But what it means is that they're coming up, or y'all coming up in an age where you kind of skipped blogs. You went straight to Instagram or YouTube or now Snapchat. That being said, I do still think it's important to have a blog, to have a place where you save all of that, and you can have stuff indexed and searchable, and a place where you can send links out for the brand. So I think especially if you're going to be a fashion blogger, and that is what you want to do, you need to have a blog. You need to have a place where you can talk a little bit more long form about your outfits, about where you shop, and link to those things. Now, if you just want to take pretty pictures on Instagram and just be like an Instagrammer, I think you can have a good career without having a blog. But even with that, I would still suggest having a place online to save and index your work. Let's do a for instance, okay? Let's say you talk to Sandra, who's right here. Sandra's here. Focus on Sandra real quick. This is the back of Sandra. She works at Tommy. Okay, so let's say you talk to Sandra, and Sandra lets you into the show, right? This is your first show. You're coming to Tommy. You're super excited. You take 100 photos. You do your blog post. Then how do you take that relationship to the next level? A few things. One is send an email after you post what you've posted. Compile all your links. If you did 3 Instagrams, 2 tweets, and 2 blog posts, get the links of all of those things, send them off to the brand person with any stats that you have. What your following is, again, how many visits you get, interactions, things like that. Do the work for them. They're going to have to look at that and compile it themselves, so you can kind of take care of that for them, which is less work for them, which is awesome. Pro tip, you can also use 4-card search to do that. Tim will put a link right here for 4-card search. You just put your username plus the brand. So it would be, for me, James Nord, Tommy Hilfiger, and it'll show your posts. You get back from Fashion Week, let's say you went to 10 shows. Next thing, get some stationery, make it nice, get some decent cardstock, spend some money on it, and send out handwritten notes to these people. Thank them for letting you into the show, you know, especially if you're up and coming. They took a chance on you, okay? Maybe they had to talk to their boss and justify why they should invite you, even though you don't have a following as big as someone else they had to invite. If you have a spot at a fashion show, you took someone else's spot. Remember that. Make sure you thank the brand. Make sure, you know, they know you're appreciative. If you've worked with them on a collaboration, same thing. Send that thank you note, and then send them, you know, say that you just, at that point, don't try and pitch your next project with them, especially if it's after a show or something. They're super busy for the week or so after, but just say you'd like to meet up, you know, for lunch or something. Just try and build a relationship. I would send, you know, the second you post, you're done posting for that brand, send the email, and then, you know, within a week, I would send a handwritten note. So that's it. Yeah, episode 9 in the fucking bag, guys. Like, we could do it anywhere. You know, it might be episode 10 might be from The Rock's living room. I don't know. Like, anything could happen. You know, we're here. I want to thank Tommy. I want to thank you for, you know, letting me drink your booze and wear your suit, which is beautiful, and film this at your show. So, cheers.